In this introduction to EDFD459, I'm going to step you through the structure of the unit in terms of the way that it appears on Leo, and also just give you a few insights into how we start our learning in week one. So when you log into the unit initially, you'll see something very similar to that's on the screen at the moment. So you're going to have the heading EDFD459 Learning Spaces. You'll have unit information, you'll have a communication module, an assessment module, and ultimately you'll be able to see week one as well. So beginning with the unit information module, in here you have the introduction that you're watching at the moment. You have the unit outline, which is very important for you to download and read from top to bottom. You have a Flipgrid, which I'll talk to you about in a moment. And then you have more conventional text introductions from Kerry Shanahan, who is the teaching lead, and myself, who is the lecturer in charge for the unit. So beginning with the unit outline, please make sure that you download this and that you do read it from top to bottom. So this is really your roadmap for the entire semester. And within this document are the learning outcomes for the unit, which are very important, the graduate attributes, which are very important. We also have the weekly schedule as well, so this is outlining what the topics are going to be, whether we've got any form of communication forum happening, so an Adobe Connect session, and also when your assessment tasks are due. And then underneath the schedule, we have your details of the assessment. So assessment 1, assessment 2, and assessment 3. I'm going to leave it to you to read those, this document in the initial, this coming week and also in week one. In our first Adobe Connect session, which is a way of meeting virtually, we will discuss in greater detail what the assessments looks like and how they are interconnected. But it's important for you to actually read that document initially to make sure that you are familiarizing yourself with what's happening in the unit. We then have our Flipgrid, and Flipgrid is a software that's come out of the States. So Microsoft has recently bought it, and it's been used extensively as a way of students developing formative video responses and assessment. And it's really fun to use, and we're going to be using it throughout the semester. Now, in order to access it, you need the password, and so the password for this is Learning Spaces 2018. So capital L, capital S, all one word, Learning Spaces 2018. Then click on Let's Go, and it'll appear with a video by me and a video by Kerry, and you are, of course, encouraged to watch those. When we get into week 2 of the semester, when we post our introductions, we're going to be using Flipgrid to do so. Okay, back up to the top of the screen, and you've got what's called a bread line, which are these tabs here, and I'd like you to click on the communication one. So in the communication tab, there are 2 administrative forums, and these are how we communicate with each other over the course of the semester. The first one, questions and queries for Kerry and Adam. That's if you've got any questions and queries of a non-personal nature that you'd like to ask us about the unit. We respond to you fairly quickly, and also you'll find that after a few weeks that students will begin to respond as well, which is really excellent. Then we've got important messages from Kerry and Adam, and that is the forum that we will use when we need to contact you about something important. The third module is the assessment module, and this is where there is going to be information about the workshops. At the moment, all the information is in the unit outline. By the beginning of the semester, that would have been copied over into here as well. But really, this is where the drop boxes are when it's time to submit your assignment tasks, and also where any assessment-specific content and resources will be added. Then the final tab that you cannot see at the moment, but you will be able to shortly, is the week 1 tab. And the reason why I want to show you this is because it outlines how each week is going to appear on the unit. So it's very important that there is a uniform approach to the delivery and structure of content so that you as the student and us as the instructor are able to use Leo effectively and efficiently. So each week, there will be an image that looks like a little bit of a piece of pie. There will be a short introduction to the week. Then there will be some colored boxes that, or dialogue boxes that have got a suggested sort of process through the week. Then you will have the readings. You'll have resources if they're needed for the week. You'll have discussion forums if they're needed for the week. And then ACS is an Adobe Connect session, which is the way that we meet virtually. And these meetings don't happen every week, but the schedule of the ACS meetings can be found in the unit outline. And then if there is a virtual workshop due on any particular week, there will be information about the virtual workshop as well. And that will be explained in greater detail in another video tutorial and also during our first Adobe Connect session. So just to explain what is sort of going on in here. You'll recall on the home page for the unit that there is a logo that looks very much like a color wheel. And we use this color wheel to represent our journey through the unit. So as you attain each part of the color wheel, so these sections here, that is representative of you moving successfully through the unit. And so in week 1, where we have this yellow color, that is representative of this section here on the color wheel. So that is the first part of the pie, and we go clockwise around the color wheel. So everything in week 1 has that yellow color or something similar to it, and that is a sort of an aesthetic quality for you to remember and to sort of signify what part of the unit you are at. So this is the little bit of the color wheel pie that you get for successfully completing week 1. The dialog boxes also have the same color, and these, as I said, they guide you through the week. The readings mostly are going to be accessible online, and we've given you the link to them. You literally just need to click on the link, and the text will open up. As we progress through the unit, you will be expected to become more adept at using the library yourself. So we'll give you the reference, but we won't give you the link. And the purpose of that is for you to become adept users of the library. The resources connect to the weekly activities and also to the virtual workshop associated with this week, which in this case happens to be the one that is due at the end of week 2. Have a look at the schedule in the unit outline for more information. Discussion forums are used extensively throughout this unit. This is the forum that is open at the moment, which is forum 1C. So that means that there's a forum 1A and 1B that you cannot see just yet, and you won't be able to see until the beginning of next week, so the official beginning of the semester. But this particular forum is open, so if you'd like to make responses about the text for week 1, you can do so in advance. And then this is information about our first Adobe Connect session. There is a small mistake in there. It says Tuesday the 31st of August. Of course, that should be Tuesday the 31st of July. I'll make sure that's updated. But an Adobe Connect session is a way of gathering together online, and there can be a presentation, so it can be a lecture or it can be a talk about the assessment task or something similar like that. You can attend synchronously, which means you attend when the session is actually running, or if you can't make that, you can attend asynchronously, which means that you can pick up the recording. So every session is recorded, and the recording is made available very soon after the real session finishes. You can access Adobe Connect via your computer, via your desktop, or you can also access it via a mobile device if you prefer. But that is the structure of every week, give or take. There are obviously going to be a few little differences, but it's important for you to understand that so you can begin to become familiar with it. Now, when you logged into the unit, you would have noticed that you are unable to see week 1. Now that we've come to the end of the introduction video, I'd like to show you how you can now access that week 1 unit. So your homepage will look very similar to this one. What I'd like you to do is go back into the unit information module, and then next to the introduction to EDFD459, you'll notice there's a little box. I'm about to click in that little box, and when I do, I'd like you to watch what happens up here on the red line. So I'm clicking that box to confirm that I've watched it, and now the week 1 module appears for you. So once you watch the video, go into week 1, start exploring. If you've got any queries, please make sure you use the questions and queries for Carrie and Adam module, and we all look forward to working with you over the coming weeks, and all the best for a really successful and exciting semester.